Okay. Wednesday night, December 20th, 2017. Tonight is 3rd of Tibet. We'll explain that in a moment. So, recently, people have been calling me up. Tefillat Yeshurun is back out. Tefillat Yeshurun is back out. Yes, Tefillat Yeshurun is back out, but it's not really back out. Let me explain very quickly and briefly, and we'll use it to segue into our class. So, Tefillat Yeshurun was the only, I'm going to call it the only Sephardic Siddur published in the United States. Okay? Even though some people are going to tell me the one of the Spanish Portuguese by the Solar Pool, it was a different type of Sephardic Siddur. This was more of a Sephardic Siddur for all Sephardim and more geared towards those immigrants from the Middle East, former Ottoman Empire, etc., that landed in mainly New York and then elsewhere. Mm-hmm. The book is a mess, but it was compact and easy to use. Okay? You have to jump around to use it. It has lots of mistakes in it, but simple book on high gloss paper. So even when things spilled on it, you could just wipe it off and keep using the book. The book wasn't damaged. So it made it a favorite, and it was reprinted time and again. Hebrew Publishing Company last published it around 1979, 1980. Let's say 1980 it was. And this was the basic color that it came in at that time. Before that, it came in different shades of blue and different shades of red. This was the last color. But by 1990, Hebrew Publishing Company ceased to exist. The book could no longer be found. Soli Sha'alo, who some of you may know, just had this book republished, but couldn't be republished because Hebrew Publishing Company doesn't exist. He did it in memory of his father, Mr. Ralph Sha'alo, who just passed away this summer in August. Why did he do it? Because when his father came here, he got here before most of the recent immigrants from Halab, and they didn't have Sidurim in Halab anymore. They needed Sidurim for the people, for the schools, so he would buy boxes of these over here and send them back to Halab. So he wanted to do something befitting his father's memory, something that his father was known for among the more recent Halabi immigrants. So he decided to redo this. He went to Moshe Kishk from Tehillah Ishaq next to me on King's Highway. They went out searching for the same type of paper, and they had it re-offset. The only reason David Batesh said it looks thicker, and it is thicker, it's two things. The cover is slightly thicker than the original cover. They couldn't find the same thinness. And we decided, in this case, because they asked my opinion to get involved and to review it.
Oh, look at the paper.
Yeah, the same paper. Okay. Added the Torah reading for Monday, Thursday, and Shabbat Minha, according to the Halabi stops. It never had Torah reading in it.
Nice.
So they added this section, so that adds some thickness to the book. It's a nice book, okay, because it's small, it's lightweight, fits in your hand, goes into the Koracha, doesn't add extra weight, okay? Because of this book, Kol Yaakov was created. Because of all the problems with this book, okay? So we might come back to that later. If you look at this book, okay, and you open up to Yishtabach, okay, you're not going to see anything special. It's not on page 61, and in fact, you're not going to find Yishtabach again until you get into Shabbat, where this book is known that it starts Shabbat prayers at the Shmat. So the Yishtabach on page 61, Yishtabach on page 174, looks like any Yishtabach that you're familiar with. Okay?
So this is a Shabbat book?
No, this is weekday and Shabbat. You never used it growing up?
Not on Shabbat, no. I don't remember.
Okay. We'll discuss this further later on. That's not the point of the class. I just wanted to use it to segue into the class. So many of the older Sidurim, not this one obviously, because it's not really old, many of the older Sidurim that people were familiar with, like Tefillat HaChodesh,
Right.
okay, and I'm going to show you this right now. Tefillat HaChodesh in Yishtabach says something you don't see in the Sidurim anymore. It starts, Yishtabach Shemchala Al Malkeinu Ha'el Melech HaGadol VaKadosh V'Anu Yidchai Adonai Eloheinu Le'olam V'Aid. And then it stops. And then it says, there's a note, Sarich Lomar B'Nshima Ahat Ad U'Malchut. So in other words, from that point on, from Shilush Baha until the end of the word U'Malchut, Kedusha Malchut, you have to say all those words in one breath. Okay? Don't pause, don't breathe in between, one breath. And that's the point of tonight's class. Rabbi Kassin, who was the chief rabbi of the community, Rabbi Yaakov Kassin, Alav Shalom. Tonight, 3rd of Tevet, is the date of his passing. Okay, I'm sure you're all familiar with Rabbi Kassin. If not, then you should have been. He was a very, very special person. Here's his picture. He wrote a number of books. Obviously, he wrote most of the things when he was still in Israel, before he got to the United States. Most of what he wrote in the United States still hasn't really fully been published. Only some of it has been.
What do you mean it's not published?
A lot of stuff is still in manuscript form.
Where is that sitting?
Where is that sitting? His son Leon, and he gave a lot of it, I believe, to Hebrat Habat Shalom to work on publishing.
And
Text on. They did some, but it's not all done yet. But also you have to realize that once Rabbi Kassin got here and he was involved with the community, he didn't have the same time on his hands to sit and write. Anyway, this is one of his books called Yesod HaEmuna. Okay, it was republished a couple of years ago. This is the reprint. So we're looking at the She'elot Tshuvot section of this book, Siman Gimel, and that's what you have in front of you. Not Siman Gimel, wrong Siman, Siman Bet, we're looking at.
yeah.
Siman Bet. And the title of the Siman, Amirat Yud Gimel Shebahim Shel Yishtabach Ben Shima Ahat. Exactly what we looked at in Yishtabach. Saying the 13 words of praise in Yishtabach in one breath. So here's the question. שאלה מאחד יראה השם ידיד נפשי עזי וחביבי יורנו המורה איך להתנהג בי"ג שבחים של ברכת ישתבח אם נאמרם בנשימה אחת אי אמרינן הכי לעקובה או אם נעשה לאומרם בנשימה עדיף תפה אבל אם נעשה לא יאמרם בנשימה או שצריך שלא יאמרם בנשימה והכי עדיף באדרבה לא יאמרם בנשימה אלא כמסדר שבחו של מלך. So, you're saying this is a question that was posed to him by a friend, okay, a dear friend, and he wanted to know. His friend is asking him, what is the proper method? What is the proper path? When you get to Yishtabach, I see in the Siddur it tells me to say these 13 words of praise in one breath. Should I say them in one breath or not? Or is it better to say them slowly and ignore that note? Okay, what way is better? يعني رأيتي بشحار عروق أورا حييم سمان نون جيمل كتاب مجين أبراهام بالشيم الشيلة كل التدفاء شباحين شبيشتباح من شير وشباحا عاد معتا يومار بن شماحات. He says, I opened up Shulchan Aruch doesn't say anything, but I saw the Magen Abraham quotes the Shelah the Hot Berit, and he says that we should say these 13 phrases in one breath. ושמעתי שאומרים שיש אחרונים שכתבו שאין אומרם בנשימה אלא כמסדר שבחו של מלך. And I heard there are some other אחרונים who said, no, we don't have to listen to that note, we should just say them slowly like we are giving praise to the king. What is the proper method? So this is a question that was posed to Rabbi Yaakov Kassin, and he came to answer it. תשובה. ראיתי דבריך ישנים משאלתך, שאלתך ישרה. This was part of the style of Rabbi Kassin. He automatically opened up with niceties to the person. I saw your words, they're straight. I saw your question. It's the question of a person with, with a focused mindset. Speaks nicely to the person. Omnam al rishon rishon. So I'm going to answer one by one, first and then second. זה יעשה ראשונה, לי"ג שבחים, איך לאומרם עם בנשימה. You want to know how to say these 13 words of praise. נראה שסובר שהם י"ג. ואחר כך הביא לי לשון המגן אברהם. So first you're telling me about the 13, and then you're bringing me the Magen Abraham. So obviously you looked at the Magen Abraham before you really had your question. ולפעמים מאוד מעיניי שלא הרגיש שסוטט דבריך שאומר המגן אברהם שהם ט"ו שבחים. So you're starting your question saying it's 13 שבחים, and then you're looking at the Magen Abraham, it's telling you it's ט"ו שבחים, 15 שבחים. So which one is it? Is it 13 or is it 15? איך שיהיה, כבר הוא בא בבית הטייב שם, שאינם אלא י"ג שבחים, שהרב יד אהרון חלק על מגן אברהם בזה. So we'll leave that alone for now, because it's not really pertinent to your question as to whether it's 13 or 15. Your question is, do we say them as one, as one long run-on sentence in one breath, or do we say them differently? וכן גם כן ראיתי להרב המקובל עמנואל חייריקי בספרו משנת חסידים. דף סמכי עמוד א', וזה לשונו.
From Italy?
From Italy, obviously.
Why?
From his name.
Ricky.
Riki. You don't think so? What made you say from Italy?
I remember him being from Italy. I couldn't remember.
Okay. I would say from his name, it's crystal clear.
Sounds like Ricci or Ricci.
Riki. Sounds Italian.
Okay.
I would say so.
Although I had no idea that that's how you spell Emmanuel.
How would you think you spell it?
I didn't know. I thought Aleph. I never.
Emmanuel. God is with us.
Oh. I
Okay?
never thought about it. All right.
Now you got it. Okay, so Mishnat Hasidim Daf Samache Amud Aleph. Okay, that's in the Amsterdam printing. This is what he says. אחר כך יאמר ישתבח ויכוון בשלוש עשרה שבחים שבו משיר ושבחה עד ומלכות לי"ג מידות. Okay? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. דאבה עמד יסירה בסוד היוצא משם ומלואיו. I'm not going to tell you what these things are. ויכוון. Okay. So the 13 praises parallel the 13 attributes of God. Okay? And there are obviously other Kabbalistic things to be thinking about at the same time. והם כנגד 13 בחינות הנעשות בבריאה על ידי עליית העולמות. And as the neshama goes up through the different spheres of the world, it touches upon different stops, and this also relates to that. הדרך אותם שנעשו בעשייה כאמור בי"ג מידות רבי ישמעאל. עד כאן לשונו הטהור. And this is what Rabbi Riki tells us. נראה פשוט מדבריו שעיקר השבחים והכוונה בהם הם י"ג. So obviously it seems crystal clear from what Rabbi Emmanuel Hairiki is telling us that the main gist here is that there are 13 shebahim and you have to have, the kavanah of the 13. ודלא כמי שכתב שהם ט"ו, and not like those who said it's 15. וכבר ציין הבאר היטב, במשנת חסידים איתה י"ג שבחים. So even the Ba'er Hitib says that we should look at the Mishnat Hasidim, in other words, Mishnat Hasidim of Rabbi Yaakov S, who talks about it being 13 Shebahim. V'chein kata Rabbeinu Maharhu b'shara kavanot. B'chaim Vital, student of the Ari, in Shara Kavanot talks about it in the first Derush, page 18d. Yishtabach shemcha l'ad malkeinu. עניין הי"ג שבחים אלו שהם שיר ושבחה, etc. שמעתי שהם על דרך מה שכתבו לעיל בברייתת רבי ישמעאל בי"ג מידות שהתורה נדרשת בהם וכו'. So he's telling us, Maharhu, that these 13 praises in Yishtabach parallel the 13 midot of the Torah, the way the Torah is extrapolated, that we say in the morning before Kaddish al Yisrael. והוא כי עתה גם היסירה שהייתה 10 ספירות נעשית י"ג ספירות. So now that we have 10 spheres, now the 10 spheres that we know of become 13 spheres. בסוד גשבה שעלו למעלה בריאה. This is a concept that we don't fully understand, at least I don't. גם שמעתי שהם כנגד י"ג ברוכים שבברוך שאמר. Also, they parallel the 13 times the word Baruch is said in Baruch She'amar. We could count them if you don't believe me that there are 13 there. There are 13. זכינו לאמת י"ג שבחים דווקא הם לפי הכוונה ואין להוסיף עליהם ולא לגרוע מהם. So even though you may look at the words of Yishtabach and you may think that there are 15 words of praise over there, you have to know that no, the emet is there are only 13, and the 13 parallel the 13 attributes of God, the 13 ways of interpreting the Torah, the 13 Baruchs in Baruch She'amar. All these 13s go hand in hand with each other. ועל שאלתך ידיד נפשי, אם לאומרם בנשימה עם לב, תחילה וראש נסיע דברי זוהר הקדוש, ונעמיס עליו דברי הפוסקים. So regarding your question whether to say them in one breath or not, first we're going to look at the words of the Zohar, and then we're going to look at the words of the poskim. וזה לשון הזוהר, פרשת תרומה דף קוף למד בית עמוד א'. כיוון דמעתה ברנה שישתבח, נעתיה קודשה בריחוה הוא כתרה בשווה לקמה. וכנסת ישראל שריעת התקנה למתי קמה מלכה עילאה. וסתריך לאכללה לה בתלסר מחילן לרחמי עילאה. דמנהון התברכת, באנון תלסר בוסמין עילאין. كما دأت أمار نيد بخركوم كان بكنامون بهاخا إنون شير وشباحة الليل زمرا عوض ومشالا نيسح جدولا جيبولا تيلا بيت فيرك دوشا هات اليسار. These are the 13. والبطا لحبرا لا بهديه والأمار وملخو. That's the polish of the 13, right? هات اليسار. بغين دي هي برخا منايو. بعد ذا استريخ وشعاتاد إخليلا بينيه تشبأ لبا والعتاب هاي ولا تشتعي كلا دالا الفسوق بينيه وإي بسيك بينيه متحود كتفي كروبيا نافيك حاش الهبا بقارب حلا بأمر بدنا يا دي بسيك أوتاد كتشابريخو يشتسي بيتبساك دلا يحميك أوتاد ملكا قديشا كما دات أمار وباير آد يقول الشيء بغين إلى تليسا إنون وده الشيء عن كذا شلون. Now on the bottom of the page you have Targum. We have the explanation of this into Hebrew. So let's go through it, even though it was pretty clear. It's pretty easy Hebrew.
So that whole quote from
That's a whole quote from the Zohar.
Oh, I see.
Straight from the Zohar.
I was like, what does this say? Okay.
What is this thing? Okay, so I'm going to go to it on the bottom. Kevan, you see, first line. On the bottom. كيفان شمجيا هادان يشتبح نوتيلا قدوش برخو ات اوتو كتر ومن يحول الفناف. Borei Olam takes this crown and puts it before him. וכני ישראל עומד התקשט. And כני ישראל, in other words, the Jewish nation, is standing there ready to be bejeweled. כדי לעבוד לפני המלך העליון, before they come before the king. וצריך לכלול אותה בי"ג מידות הרחמים העליונות. And you have to include in it the 13 attributes of mercy, שמהם היא מתברכת, through which it is blessed. והם כנגד י"ג בשמים העליונים, and they correspond to the 13 fragrant spices. כמו שנאמר, נר וחלקו מקנאים וקדמון, etc. Okay? מכאן הם, and then it gives you the 13 words that we read. First you have the 12 words, ואחר כך צריך לחבר השכינה עמהם ולומר המלכות. And you include the Shekhinah, which is God, and so that's why the final word of after the 12 is the Umalchut for the kingdom, which is from God. Harei Shilusha Asa, the Fishihi Mitbarechet Behem. That's the way it's blessed. ועל כן צריך בשעה שהשכינה נכללת עם י"ג המידות לשים לב ולרשום בזה ולא לדבר כלל. You have to be very careful when you're saying these words, not to speak whatsoever. שלא להפסיק ביניהם, and not to interrupt between them at all. ואם מפסיק ביניהם, and if you make any sort of interruption between these words, מתחת כנפי הקירובים יוסד שלהבת אחת. From underneath the wings of the cherubs, okay, all of a sudden you get this. Yeah, it's a full fire. I would call it more of a spark than a fire, but okay. And then it calls out and announces, in a strong voice, and says, "Peloni shehefsik geuto shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu nichle v'yefseku hayav." This person who cut off the grandeur of God, you know what? Let him be cut off. And let his life end. So he doesn't, because he obviously doesn't care about seeing God's grandeur, so let's make sure he never sees it. These 13 words of praise in Yishtabach, these are the way we glorify God, and we have to make sure that we say them properly and not interrupt between them. These are the words of the Zohar. Okay? Ready to move on?
Yeah.
بعد نرى من شون الزوار لفوم لهيت هذا صريخ له أمنا بنشيمها بلي هفسك. بخمعات بزين نات لكل أمم شومنا بنشيمها حات. So it would seem from the words of the Zohar, that's where the concept of saying them in one breath would come from, because you don't want to, stop in between them. أمنا إيديك هات برتات تعود جدول هو. هنا يميت كي أزور محمين ميقول شلو لابسيك أبا لولا أمرا من إشماع حاد ومن دكداك ميقول شونو التهو بأمرو بلو اشتعي كي لا تلف سوق بينيه تمشمع لا حشي يسيك إلا دبور بشهية. But the Zohar never said you cannot breathe in between them and you have to say them. In other words, say them all together. Don't stop to speak. Don't stop to just, I'll say these later on. You say Shir, Ushbaha, Halil, Zimna. You don't have to say them in one breath, but you're not making any sort of interruption between them, the rabbi is telling us. Okay, what is considered a hefsek? Speaking or pausing. כמו שכתב בית יוסף סימן ר' בשם שיבולי הלקט. ושהיה כדי שאלת שלום לרב חשיבה הפסק. So basically, if you pause between one of these words, between two words, a period of time that would take you to say Shalom Elecha Rabbi, that amount of time, which is what, about a second and a half, 2 seconds, I guess. Okay, that would be Shehiyah. That's a pause, and that's no good. ובשאלת שלום, השיירה כסה גדולה בהגאות בית יוסף, תבדס פיו כסה גדולה, מחק תיבת אמורי, אלא דווקא שלום עליך רבי. See those 3 words, שלום עליך רבי. ויקריח כן באריכות, and he proved it. וכתב דמה שכתוב בשיבולי הלקט, תיבת אמורי טעותו. Because some sources tell you שלום עליך רבי אמורי, because no, just the 3 words. ואף המגן אברהם שהביא ספר אבו דרהם. تسبيل هذه شيء لا حشبها بسيك مكم كتاب دين أفسيك دخلت حلا بشيء إلا دافك بدي عباد بخير نيت ذهرا حي آدم بخلال هي وتتيت وزي شنو نسوا لا أفسيك بينها براخا عصيتها مزبا وها أخيلا أفلو بشتيكا يوت بختي دبور. Same thing if you're making a beracha, okay, before any sort of action or before eating, you could not pause between the end of the beracha and the action or the eating, once it's a pause of these 3 words, the amount of time it will take you to say these 3 words, that's already problematic. וכתב בשיתוף בלי שום חולק ולא חש סברת המתירים עין שם וסיבירה ליד דווקא בדיעבד מותר עין שם. So בדיעבד, if you did it, then okay, you continue, but it's not the way to do it. ואם נשך אדם מהדבר מהאלה, מה שייך זה לזה? הטעם בין ברכה לעשייה מזווה, אבל פה בין פסוקי דזמרה, אלו מעכב שיהיה, ואשר שגם דיבור. אף עתה השיבהו ואמור לו, כיוון אפילו לצורך מזווה כתב מרן הבית יוסף בסימן נ"א בשם הכל בו, שאפילו של העניין מזווה יכול להפסיק בין ישתבח ליוסף. כמו שכתב רבנו בסימן נ"ד בשם רב עמרם. בן ברוך שאמר ישתבח לא יפסיק, ואם כן מסתבר כיוון דאפילו לצורך מזווה אסור להפסיק, גם שתיקה אסור. He just put this as a side note that obviously you cannot stop any place from Baruch Sha'amar until the end of Yishtabach. But we're talking about here within the Yishtabach, within the phrase, within these words of praise, you should not pause for longer than the amount of time it will take you to say Shalom Aleichem Rabbi. Now he moves further down among the poskim. וכן ראיתי להרב חידה בקשר גודל, סימן זין אות למד א'. וגם אין להפסיק בשתיקה משיתחיל ברוך שאמר עד סוף תפילה י"ח וגם לצורך מזווה. Because the entire time, from once you begin praying from Baruch She'amar until the end of the Amidah, you should not stop for silence even. Okay? Even for Surah Mizvah, even for the purpose of Mizvah, you should not. Once you're in that praying mode, you have to stay in that praying mode and not stop. Like all of a sudden, you hear a bang, go, let me look around the room. Let me see, you know what, I think I'm praying too fast. The minyan, the pacing in the minyan is not working right. We want to get up to Shema Abbas by 7:20. Now it's only 7:18 and up to Ahabat Olam. I'm going to sit for a minute and wait until I start praying again. Mm-hmm. You can't do that.
No talking there, do I take it?
No, obviously not. כדכתב מרן בסימן א' עין שם. ובפרט לפי דברי הזוהר, שיחמיר מאוד בהפסק כאשר יהיה הרואה לשונו על נזכיר לעין. And all the more so according to the words of the Zohar, which is even more mahmir when it comes to causing any sort of interruption in the prayer. וכן ראיתי בסידור הגאון יעבס. Because I looked in the sidur of Ya'abes, and same thing, דכתב, דאין לאומרם בנשימה אחת, אלא כמסדר שבחו של מלך. So over there he says, do not say it in one breath, these 13 words of praises, rather say them in the proper fashion, like you are actually standing in front of a king and showering him with praises. וכתב, דאין להפסיק בדיבור או בשהייה, and of course do not stop to speak or to just pause. וכן משמעות לשון הזוהר, and that's exactly the intent of the words of the Zohar that we read. וכן הגאון חידה בקשר גודל סימן זין עוד ממזין, הביא בשם סידור יעבס דאין לאומרם בנשימה אלא כמסדר שבחו של מלך, and the חידה says the same thing. וכן הרב חיי אדם, the חיי אדם, that's Rabbi Danziger, I believe is his name, he says the same thing. כלה י"ח עוד ד', הביא בשם הגרה דאין לאומרם בנשימה אחת. So he's bringing you Sephardim and Ashkenazim, same thing, don't say them in one breath. וכתב שכן משמע בזוהר תרומה נזכיר לעיל כדברנו, והביא דבריו הרב משנה ברורה, וגם דברי הגאון יעבס, ושכן משמע בזוהר. So all the sources that the rabbi is bringing us all point to the same direction. To rush through them in one breath, you're doing a disservice, if anything at all. גם ראיתי להרב מוהרית על גזרי. Okay, now we have a footnote on the bottom that says should we see Muhari. Okay, Muharit is be Tob al Ghazi, and Muhari is be Israel Yaakov al Ghazi. Okay, so once we know the name of the book, Shalmei Sibur, we know it has to be Israel Yaakov al Ghazi.
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to be. We studied from it before.
Yeah.
Shalmei Sibur. Okay, since we mentioned Kol Yaakov earlier, the product of Sam Katten, we should mention that Sam Katten was instrumental in reprinting Shalmei Sibur also. דף עין עמוד ד' שדקדק מדברי הזוהר שאין לאומרם בנשימה. And he also used the words of the Zohar to prove that these 13 words of praise in Yishtabach should not be said in one breath. إلا بمفسيق بدبور دافك هالدباريم أموريم. No, only the Zohar is talking about if you're stopping to speak in between them. بهبو دبارا بشعارة الشباه سمان جيمل هنسكي دعيد. لو كان مجين أبراهاش كتب ديش ومرام من الشمال. بخينا ايتي ده ربك أول ريح طوب بس فلو بني شحاي. So now he's quoting the بني شحاي. Okay, Barry, you happy now? On the Torah. شنا رشونا برشاد ويجاش أوت تيت فاب. بزيل الشنوس. And he's going to quote the بني شحاي from Yosef Hayim from the Benish High, first year, Parashat Vayigash, item number 15. Ve'eluha yudgim shebahim, hem keneged yudgim midot. These 13 words of praise, like we said, are parallel to the 13 midot. V'sarich le'omram b'n'ima. You have to say them in pleasantness. K'mesadeh shebaho shel melech, like you are preparing, to speak before a king and to praise him before you ask him for whatever it is that you need. Therefore, you definitely should not say them in one breath, like is the custom of some people. Not only that, you should count them on your fingers. And this is the proper thing. And this is what I do, says Rabbi Yosef Hayim. Okay, Bidiyah Manni, as we know, was the chief rabbi of Hebron, originally from Baghdad, and he has a book called Siyah Yishaq, and he says the same thing. Katab Kidbarinu. וכן ראיתי לאחרון זמננו הרב מקובל בעל כף החיים הנתפס מחדש בסימן ג'. So Rabbi Jacob Kassin is telling us, now I saw in this new book by this Mikubal of our generation, the Kaf HaHayim, because Kaf HaHayim Sofer was a brand new thing. In other words, he was a guy that he met on the street in Jerusalem. Who was his contemporary.
1920s, 30s.
Yeah.
Like that.
He says, so Rabbi Haim Sofer, Haim Yaakov Sofer, published a new book, Kaf HaHayim, and he wrote the same thing over there. Exactly what we wrote, that you should not be saying it in one breath. When he mentioned some of the things that we already mentioned. And he also mentioned that the Ari doesn't say any place in Shara Kavanot that it has to be said in one breath. Like everything we mentioned above. So not to conclude, consider Lin, there's a kinu de din, كأشياء هروهم مرام كل رباني مشكل العيد بين البكبك بزي كذا بعكار بعد ربام زفاد فرسين بربيم شجيعات ميابين هنتبسيم بروب سدوريم لوما بريد يود جيمل بن شيما. He goes, so not only did I answer your question, and don't be afraid about the answer that some people are not going to like it, you should go out and publicize this. Let people know that they should not be saying it in one breath like they like to do, or like they think they need to do. And the only reason that people are making a mistake is because the people who put it in the Siddur made a mistake. He goes, and I'm utterly shocked and amazed at the Siddurim Beit Menuha and Beit Obed and Tefilat HaChodesh. אחרי שהוא בא בחלק הדינים דברי הרב חידה בשם סידור יעבס לאין עונה מן נשימה, because they write the dinim and they put the words what we quoted from the Hida and what we quoted from the Ya'abis, that you should not say them in one breath, samuch, which right very close to Yishtabach, and then they write, say them in one breath, because I don't understand, what did they do? They give you laws to tell you not to do it, and then when it comes to the instructions right at the spot, tells you to do it. And obviously we have to blame the publisher, the printer, for this, and not the Chachamim who actually put out the book. ועתה ראיתי גם הרב יסוד ושורש העבודה בשער ג' שער השיר פרק ז' הביא לשון הזוהר אסכול לעיל וכתב דאב שנמצא בספרים בשם זוהר הקדוש לאומנם לאומר הי"ג שבחים נשימה אין מוכרח כלם לשון הזוהר כנסכול לעיל בדברינו. Even so, now this book called יסוד ושורש העבודה, which is a very famous Ashkenazi book on how to serve God, and he has a section in there about prayer, and he says, even though there are people that say that you should say these 13 words of praise in one breath, and they brings different proofs for it. And he goes, he utterly refuted it over there, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. And this is what...
And that's what the Siddur says. This one says to just say it in one breath.
Right.
Yeah.
What was his main reasoning not to again?
Because you don't need to, for any reason whatsoever. He's telling you, first and foremost, the concept is a mistaken concept because they misunderstood the Zohar. The Zohar is telling you, not to interrupt between them, not to speak with him. The Zohar doesn't tell you that you must say them in one breath. Okay, so it's a mistaken concept that crept in. And like David was just telling you now, if you're coming now to speak to God and you want to pray to him, oh King, you're terrific, you're great, you're passionate, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean nothing. You're making fun of him, if anything, now if you're going to say him in one breath.
Right.
Okay?
The only thing we say in one breath is Asara b'nei Haman. So you're gonna say that? No, seriously.
Okay.
No, but like it seems to be like it's rushed because you don't want to give them the credence. Borei Olam, you should take your time and say it nicely.
It should be the opposite.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Mark is saying.
That's the point. Beautiful.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring this teshuvah. It was an easy teshuvah, obviously. But this is who Rabbi Kassin was, at least the way I remember him. He was pleasant. He cared about the small things and how it made a difference in who you were as a person and how you ended up dealing with other people, dealing with your surroundings, reacting and interacting with God. This was all what he stood for, pleasantness.
Right.
And this is a very, very important thing that you saw over here. And how he was able to intertwine the Kabbalah, the Zohar, with the poskim. Okay. Since we're talking about Siddur Tefillat Yeshurun, okay, it's a very interesting book. David El-Hadaf has homework to find out who actually created the book, who published the book, who edited the book. But the book first came out by the Hebrew Publishing Company, Broadway, New York, 1935. First edition. First edition did not have glossy pages. It had a very, very slight gloss, but not a real gloss, like subsequent editions. It was this color blue, faded blue color. Now, open the books you have. Page 139. 139 is a very famous page in Tefillat Yeshurun.
Check marks.
You have 139?
That's not a count? You do have a count.
Check
There's
marks.
page numbers on top. Yes,
Show
check.
off.
You see check marks?
Check.
No,
I'm sure. No, I don't.
So they even changed the pages.
Still Bamim Malakim.
Wow, they even changed the page. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so the original, the Chadudi, was on 139.
Oh,
Okay? And the original had no check marks on the Chadudi. See?
wow.
No check marks at all. And
someone wrote them in, obviously, and then made copies.
yes, subsequent editions,
Yeah.
okay, started getting check marks. Those check marks were Rabbi
Made by,
Kassin.
yeah.
Rabbi Kassin. Okay? For the they started publishing them mainly for the community, or so the community could use it also. Which stanzas of the Chadudi does the community say? He just check mark those.
Very good.
Okay? And that's the way it was published after that. So this is the first edition, which was published for everybody, did not have check marks. Keep that in mind. And there are a number of other changes in the Siddur, but we're not going to get into every one of those changes now. Maybe in a different class at a different time. This was the next blue color of the book. Different blue.
A little nicer blue, though.
Yeah, different. The pages started getting glossier.
What year?
No year. After that, after the 1935, they stopped putting the year. There are no more years. They moved from Broadway to Delancey Street, and they stopped putting the address in English. It's only in Yiddish. Okay? But the first edition,
Whose book is that one, can I ask?
what do you mean?
What is the name of the book?
The name in the book, L'Ilui Nishmat Hazan Na'im Zimno Yisrael Al-Fa'il Shlomo Marcos. Hazan Marcos was the Hazan of Shari Sion until about 1963 1961 when they brought in Rabbi Nadav. Okay?
You have recordings of him?
Not that I've ever able to find, no. I never found any. First edition, this tells you it's a Sidur. Every subsequent edition says Mahadura Hadasha Umtukenet. Okay? New and improved. Then we started with the red ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. The red ones is basically what most of us grew up on. Very high gloss. Your hand just slides right across the page. Your coffee spills on it, you wipe it off, you keep going.
You want to travel? You have a nice little,
Look how thin. Look how simple. Done. Then there was this color also. Didn't last too long. It was also a thicker cover. People didn't like it so much. This other one came out in the 70s. I remember when I got in school. More of that. Yeah. Got it out in school. The Haddids donated them at the time. Okay?
How's the glossy on that one?
That was glossy.
Yeah.
High gloss. Then there was also the Hebrew English edition.
Yeah.
Hebrew English edition never had a year. It removed the unknown name from the front. Right? The Hebrew one says it was put together by Aleph Bet Nun. Right? The English one doesn't say Aleph Bet Nun anymore, but it just says it's translated into English by Menachem ben Moshe Ezekiel. Who's he? No idea.
Spanish Portuguese, maybe.
Don't know.
Translated Shema as the Shemang, right?
But that's the way they say it.
Shemang
Yeah. In
Spanish Portuguese, yeah.
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 So that's not in there.
What do you mean it's not in there?
It's not in this book.
I think it is.
No, it's not.
I'll go with Joey on this one. You know what?
And he's looked at the book
Absolutely not. Nowhere, no how does
That's
it
where I got
exist.
it from. That's the only place I've seen it.
It says Hero Israel.
But you're good.
So where am I getting this from? Not in the solar pool.
You're getting it from some sort of this old pool book. You're not getting it from here.
All right, keep going.
No.
that.
Reading of Shema.
Huh.
No Shemang over here.
Shimon.
No,
Almost
It's
sounds
definitely
like
not here. Okay? So,
I'll find it for you.
hey, you want to see David jump? Look what this says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2.5 on.
What is that? The father?
It's from Seattle. When my father lived there, this was his book. That's it. Came
it?
back with him, and that was it.
No,
The same
let's
Hebrew
see it.
book.
No,
What does it
go
say?
away, go away.
See? And then this was the last
We
print
see
thing
it.
that they put out.
Jerk.
It was like it was like 1979, 1980. They put out this one with this color cover. Became a drop thicker, but that's it. And after that, it
This
was
is the
gone.
following extracts are called the Shemang.
He's talking.
Maybe in
The
that
first
one.
two word Shemang. It's right. It's just weird.
I
seeing
guess
it
in
like
that one.
It's just weird seeing it like that. See, that's not. See, that's
It's
why.
a Seattle
Yeah.
thing.
They
You
did it
guys
for
are-
Seattle.
You're 3 hours behind. Don't worry. We got it.
Probably in the other one too, on the bottom.
A long 3 hours.
Anyway,
Each hour is like
so
a couple
these
of
are-
1,000 years.
The different editions and covers and colors. So the only thing that was. So what happened?
So that one is similar. They just
This
had
one
to put
exactly
out.
because this was the last one, and this
So
was the
that's
ones.
why they got it out
And
so
these are the ones
quickly.
that were sent over there. So they, over the course of years, they never
Where'd you get
reprinted
this
the
one
book.
from, can I ask?
This one?
Yeah.
I had it from years ago.
Just like that? Okay.
Yeah, I bought it. It was $8 at the time. So this is the ones that were sent to Halab. So this is the color they knew. In fact, when somebody put it on the Hazanut chat the other night, somebody who I know in Israel, his name is Yossi Daya, said, "Yeah, I remember the book from Kitab in Halab. This is the book we used." So this is the book that they all knew in Halab. So they're all super excited seeing it now. So like I said, they tried to make it as close as possible. Obviously, it got thicker because you couldn't get the exact poundage of paper or cover, but as close as possible they wanted to make it. And we added, the Torah readings, which are there. So it's a nice thing. So, but as far as what David Batesh said, that the font is terrible. Yeah, because it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy over the course
I would
of
use the
many
original.
years. Yeah, the original is 1935 printing. That's the only one where it's clear. Now, since we mentioned before, Tefillat Yeshurun was the reason Kol Yaakov came about. Tefillat Yeshurun was the reason because everybody wanted a easy, thin book, but Rabbi Biton and Sam Catton were very, very upset that it was full of mistakes. On a single page, they found over 70 mistakes. And because of that, they kept working on prototypes and ideas to create Kol Yaakov.
Can you give us that page of the 70 mistakes, please?
You want me to pull it out?
Yes.
I'll pull it out.
70 mistakes.
I think it was 76 even.
Sure.
70 mistakes coming up. Oh my god.
79. Page 26.
I'm not going to ask Joe where you got that from, so I'm being nice.
It's okay.
26?
Page 26, yes.
Oh wow, huh.
The page that starts Abadecha on top.
Funny. Of all the prayers, because it should has a Talmud.
Wow.
Okay.
Alright, I see it already.
Okay. 79 mistakes on this page. Most of them having to do with Dagesh mistakes.
Kakatu with Rotecha. Well, that's
No, we're talking about
That's
Dagesh.
fine,
No,
yeah. Yeah. There's the Dagesh missing there, okay.
Mahia Har Devarim is missing Dagesh.
Yep.
Ha'ille, missing Dagesh. Nisa,
Nisa,
missing
missing
Dagesh, etc., etc., etc. Okay.
Nanny.
So this is the main reason. So first, we're going to make a Sidur called Sidur Hadash. Okay? And it was going to look more or less like this. Then they were playing with a different type of font. It was going to look a little bit different. A little more space between the lines. Smaller letters. Then they're going to call it Tefillah David, because Rabbi David Biton was working on it. And I continue with that font with Tefillah David. And that's when they started going into secret talks and productions, and then afterwards they got the Safras involved, and that's why it became called Yaakov, for Edmund Safra's father, Yaakov Safra. Okay? A lot of other things going on over here, obviously. The book was supposed to be, how many pages, David, do you remember?
135.
Nah, 135.
Where'd you get that from?
I don't know.
You found it?
I don't know.
You found it?
Do we have a amount of pages? 320 pages maximum.
Now we're up to 500.
How many pages now since you collect Kol Yaakov's,
Oh,
Victor?
you're talking about Kol Yaakov you're talking about?
Kol Yaakov,
Oh, I
yeah.
thought you
It's up to
said
500. Almost 500.
It's supposed to be 300.
When's the next one coming out, Dave? When is the next one coming out?
The next one, what?
Oh, yeah, cool. Next edition.
No, the latest edition we all have. The latest edition came out in December,
I'll probably run out.
about a year ago. Yeah, December. These are the notes, 1976.
Sam Catton?
Sam Catton. Book didn't come out till 85. History.
There you go.
Are we good?
We're good.